7 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. Ask everyone to stand. Pledge allegiance. Moved by Virginia. Support. Jake. Moved by Virginia, support by Jake. Any questions or comments on the previous month's minutes? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed to no. Motion carries 7-0. Item 5 is Part Star, Mr. Ellison.
The Spartan Star, for this month, I actually chose 2 people. I actually chose Karen and Ned and Nicole Barnhart, who have stepped up and did a lot above and beyond this past month. They certainly aren't the only ones, but they did a drastic amount of work during this last month and a half. So I just wanted to recognize that and let them know I appreciate that.
Item 6 is public comment. I need to probably explain because we usually put on the back of the agenda the requirements for public comment. You have to introduce yourself, you're allowed 3 minutes, you can only speak once. I'd like to keep it civil, not get too loud and rowdy, but each of you get your chance. Is anyone in a group, so you have one spokesperson? Or are you all individuals? Okay. You address your comments to me, and we don't sit and argue with you, we just listen to your comments. I'll take notes a little bit, and we'll take turns. You're allowed 3 minutes. And who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'd like to request the document that I gave you guys be added to your minutes. And I'd also like to request that some kind of conversation about the investigation that's been ridiculously ongoing be discussed amongst you guys after everybody's had their time to speak here. It's quite clear that it's been going on far longer than it should have, and the steps involved in conducting it have not been appropriately conducted, I would say, especially considering the circumstances and what I've said in this document. I know I've talked to pretty much every one of you except for Brent, and I don't think I've had a chance to talk to you yet, Jake. But it seems like you guys need to be a little bit more involved, being our representatives. You are our representatives. You have more ability to ask questions than we do, and I expect you guys to exercise that a little bit more. Thank you.
I guess you didn't introduce yourself. I know who you are.
Oh, I'm Lance Lashway. Hi.
Zach?
I'm Jennifer Lee, and I placed an envelope in front of all of you. It is my letter of resignation from Waldron Area Schools. I'd like to read that if that's okay. I'm ready to formally resign my position as a bus driver with Waldron Area Schools effective May 21st, 2025. I've appreciated the opportunity to serve the students and the families and the staff of Waldron. It was a rewarding experience to help ensure the safe transportation and support the daily operation of the district. While the decision was not made lightly, I believe it's the right time for me to step away and focus on the next chapter of my life. I will always be thankful to the Waldron families and community who accepted and embraced me as an outsider, but never made me feel like one. Waldron felt like home as soon as I walked in, and did for most of my time here. Thank you for trusting me with the single reason every one of us is here, the students of Waldron Area Schools. I've worked in public school for 21 years. It's been 2 districts. I raised a family, and I was very involved because I wanted to know who was helping me raise my kids. When I moved my son here, I wasn't able to come yet. And so for 3 years, I worked with a couple of the staff members here and said, when there is a spot for me, please let me know, because I don't know anybody down here, and I want to know who is helping me raise my son. It worked out that I was able to come, and I was in the classroom for a year, and I was in the building, and I had a lot of fabulous, fabulous staff members that helped me and embraced me and taught me, guided me, students who really grew on me. And then I went to the bus. It was a very small district. There's 4 bus drivers, and every one of them was great. It was a lot different than where I came from, but different in a good way. I attended a lot of board meetings that were ran different than what I'd seen, but I appreciated that because we had conversations. And a few years ago, that changed. The communication within the district to the staff changed. This last year, we weren't given notice that my husband was being let go because of budget issues. Understandably so, it's a small district. And the ball fell from there. We fought for, when is our insurance done? Where did my days go that I had earned my paid time off days because I had to have surgery? Where did my retirement go? Why is my pay not correct? When I printed out pay stubs, not one of them in the last year reflects the amount of hours that I work. The direct deposit was the same, but the money is not. Why? I can't work like that. I cannot work in a place that I can't trust and I don't feel is home. Now, to you guys, the students, the families, thank you. I appreciate everything you did for me and my husband and my family, my daughter when she was here. You guys are great. And I really, really hope that it can come back to being the Waldron I was introduced to 4 years ago, because you've all been here a lot longer. For 30 years working in public school, I was told Waldron's gonna close, Waldron's gonna close, and you've always hung on. You've always kept your district going and your community together. And I really hope that with some changes that can continue to happen. Thank you.
So I'm Fether. I've been here a long time. I've seen a lot of things come and go, and a lot of turmoil. But in this particular instance, I'm not sure if you people that are sitting there understand that we all care and that there's a serious issue here. And I believe Jenn hit it pretty well when she mentioned communication. But I'm kind of afraid for this district. I've never been that afraid for this district in the 30 years. Well, I've been here for 40 years, 45 years, I guess, since I started coaching. This is the first time I've seen this. And I think as a board, you probably ought to think about addressing where your biggest problem is and maybe try to fix that before you don't have anything to fix at all.
the big thing in the room is Jenn. My daughter is a freshman, and she came back to Waldron because of Jenn. Jenn took the time to come and talk to her about her options that she didn't have at another school, and I will forever be grateful for that. But my youngest daughter is in first grade, and she came from an amazing school, and we decided to bring her back to Waldron because of the changes that have been made in the last few years. As a parent, we took both of our daughters out of the school because we didn't like the direction that it was going. The inappropriateness along the students, the staff was not unified down in the elementary, they didn't care, the communication from the teachers were not great. In the last couple of years, I've heard nothing but great things. This year, I have been able to see an amazing staff, especially among the elementary, and so much progress made among those students where we want to see progress, so that way we have progress going so we can keep our district going. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, and a lot of it can be fixed by talking it out at the table instead of hashing it out on Facebook and social media. Because I'm telling you, you have an amazing team starting down into that elementary, and it matters. And that is why I brought my youngest daughter back, or we would have left her at the district she was at.
My name is Cassandra Stuckey, and I am a mom of a student here.
Start over.
My name is Cassandra Stuckey, and I have a student here, one that just graduated. Unfortunately, my student, she came back this year because of Jenn. She went to Hudson, and unfortunately, she will be going back to Hudson again because this year has been, besides Jenn, crazy. Just like Disney puzzles for history. That's crazy. I have a picture of all these Disney crosswords she got for history. That is not history. That is not teaching our children. What's going to happen when she goes to college? She's not prepared. I can't really talk to anyone because, I'm sorry, but Mr. Ellison has too much power being superintendent and principal. That's insane. So I can't, if I have a problem with him as a principal, who do I go to? Him as a superintendent? So we are just going to move her, but Jenn did great things, and there's a lot of great teachers here in the high school, and I appreciate all of you guys who guided my kids. And I had 2 graduate. Unfortunately, the 3rd one will not be graduating from here.
Hi, I'm Serena Benzer, and I would like to talk about the bullying that goes on in the school. Not only with the children, but with the administrative. Today, I was sent a video of my son getting bullied in his first hour class. Now, his teacher wasn't here, and I have spoken to that teacher, Mrs. Kramer. She is one of the only teachers who not only holds my son accountable for when he flips out because he is being bullied, but he also holds those kids accountable. And that does not happen here. And that is the reason why you watch the news and kids are killing themselves or they're shooting up their schools, because the bullying does not get taken care of. He went to the bathroom and was followed by a high school student. Mind you, my son is in 6th grade. Was followed by a high school student who then dumped water all over his head while he was going to the bathroom. That's unacceptable. Why are we allowing middle school and high school students to participate in the same classes together? That is crazy to me. Something needs to be done about the students who are actively picking on kids every single day. Instead of saying, oh, well, your son's a problem because he said a cuss word. In my day, I would have done a lot more than say a cuss word. And you all really need to take that into account.
My name's Ryan Allison. I have 3 kids in different grades at this school, and I'm going to touch on what she did as far as the bullying goes. Nothing's done about it until my kids stand up for themselves, and then they get disciplined for standing up for themselves, along with my 2 older ones who are here tonight, rely on Jenn for getting into further education programs and other things that they've now been cut off from. There's so many kids here that missed out on graduation opportunities, further education, and so many other things because the board, the principal, drops the ball. I've been here and had several conversations with him about bullying and issues with my kids that don't get addressed or fall on deaf ears. And things need to change, and if they don't, I'm gonna be pulling my kids out of this district as well at the end of the year. So, thank you for your time.
My name is Rebecca Eastep. I am also the mother of these two children. I have literally spent a day in the life of these two. My son, I'm not saying that he's not the best student. I have did a walk around in the school. Between the lack of actual academics and the relaxations in these classrooms is beyond ridiculous. One sheet of paperwork, and then they can play on their phone the rest of the time. The school lunches are worse than I have seen in a big school city. Literally, a sack of lunch was one day. The second day that I came in, it was literally a PB&J butter sandwich, a cup, a milk that I ended up drinking and spitting up because it was disgusting. As far as Jenn goes, Jenn has helped both my kids and has helped the younger two that I have in the school. But when she pulled out, it was completely chaos. They have literally no one to run to. I have tried to deal with the principal on a lot of issues, and it fell on deaf ears. If it falls on deaf ears, where does that leave their life, their academics, their graduations? You guys are supposed to be the ones that help lead, but one sheet of paperwork, and then they can do whatever they want on their phone, that does not help these children. So as my husband has said, I will be pulling all 4 of my children out.
Hi, my name is Jacob Olds. I'm a junior at Waldron Area Schools, and I have talked to multiple staff and students, and they say if Jenn leaves, they also leave. Jenn has brought so many opportunities to this school district that other counties, other schools in this county did not have prior. Like signing early middle college with Kellogg Community College, that was such a big thing for us as such a small district, and she is such a valuable asset as an administrator, not only for the other staff members, but also the students and putting schedules and all of that stuff. And there's no one to replace her if she does not come back. And yeah.
I just graduated from Waldron this year. Brianna Siebel. And in the beginning of the year, I was doing work-based learning. I went to the Career Center, and then the second half of the year, I was doing on-the-job training with police force and stuff, and Jenn set that all up for me. And then we were working on getting me to go to college. Before I came here, I did not want to go to college, and Jenn pushed me to do that and pushed me to know that it was like good. When Jenn got pulled out, I hadn't committed yet, and I still haven't fully gotten what I have to do yet. I'm behind on a lot of things for college, and Jenn solely held that together for me. Nobody else has helped me. I was really prepared for college when Jenn was here, and then when she left, I was lost. I didn't know what I was doing. I was also dual enrolled in college as a high schooler, and Jenn helped me. She was a big part in that, helping me with that too. And I was also very lost with that when I was going through that, so I just feel like I can speak for a lot of students and a lot of seniors who are also going through the same struggle of trying to commit to college and doing all that and making sure they're on track. And Jenn was the only one that held that together, and I don't feel, being such a small county, we can't even get a history teacher. How are we going to replace a dean of students that is going to do as much work as she did for us? I mean, she did so much for us and teachers. She went to other people's meetings. She did so much for everybody, and I feel like we should take that into account as well.
I will impossible without Jenn. That girl would not be where she is today without Jenn Fether. She helped her when she was dual enrolled. She helped her get a work internship with Hillsdale Veterinary Clinic. She went on a trip with her to Kansas to visit the vet school, to visit that school. Mary went too. Was that not an amazing opportunity?
It was a great
Who set that up for you?
Jen Fether.
Thank you. I'm gonna tell you right now, she is more valuable to this school than any person sitting in that front table. I am related to some of the people sitting in this table. I am friends with some of the people sitting in this table. That woman is the pillar of this school. And what is happening to her right now is ridiculous. It needs to stop now.
My name's Jim Fether. I have 5 kids that go here. I graduated from this school in 2002, and when I went to college, I don't remember anybody helping me get into college other than my mother. My oldest boy is a freshman right now, and Jenn is already looking at his sophomore, junior year and what to get him involved in, knowing that he doesn't want to go to college but wants to pick up a trade. Jenn took him to a National Guard thing just before she was walked out of the building. Just before she was walked out, she already has him signed up for a 3-day camp at an ROTC training thing. I never got anything like that, and it is absolutely phenomenal what she does for these students. And I don't think any of you guys understand what she actually does.
I'm Nancy Shanslow. I have a senior that just graduated. I have a junior. I also have a daughter who just graduated from Trine University. Would not have been possible without Jenn, any of it. She takes so much time. I think Joe's probably the only one that actually knows how much time she puts into these kids. All of them, whether they're still here or not. Libby went to Jackson before she transferred to Trine. Jenn helped her through every step of that, even beyond Waldron. She cares so much about these kids. I think everybody in this room supports her, and that's why we're all here tonight, but we want answers. We want to know if she's coming back, when she's coming back, what's going on. I spoke to Mr. Ellison 2 weeks ago, and he told me the investigation was ongoing, and that hopefully by the end of the following week, we would have answers. We still have no answers 2 weeks later. That's what everyone is frustrated about. We want to know when she's coming back. We support her, every single person here.
I can probably comment on that a little bit, because the investigation unfortunately is still ongoing. So we can't say much about it because it's not done yet. I think it's been gone on way too long, but it's still not done. And as far as the bullying, we don't tolerate bullying. I don't know where it keeps coming from, why it doesn't get stopped, but no one up here supports kids being bullied.
But nothing gets done.
Nothing gets
Nothing.
done, ever.
Absolutely
Doesn't
nothing.
even come to the high school end, he doesn't even know our names, hardly.
When I come in for my son because he cussed, because he threw a fit, because he's tired of getting picked on, that's his focus. Well, I said, okay, so what happens to the kids that do this stuff to him? Well, you know, that kind of gets thrown aside when he sits there and cusses. Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry. All I can say is, I swear we'll look into it, because we don't, our official policy says we do not tolerate.
I feel like the high school end of this school is lacking, like Tracy Johns. The high school end of the school is lacking in a lot of areas. I feel that a lot of teachers are very lax. Kids are on their phones more than they're not. I feel like a lot of things don't get handled like they should. Certain teachers, like to put grades in before she even has the stuff graded, and then she fails half the kids. And I've been in this school for at least 3 times in the last month and a half about the same teacher and her grading scales, and her grading 2 pages is worth the entire final exam. But then they can play on their phones, and certain other kids can do the same paper and they get an A on it, but my son fails it. There's something wrong there. And I feel like we're so focused on Jenn right now that you're forgetting what the rest is going on in that high school. And if we're so focused on what Jenn did, maybe you should focus on some of the teachers who probably shouldn't be a teacher.
I'm Zach Stuckey. It's kind of ridiculous what's going on here, because the only people that's really suffering are the kids. I have a daughter that just graduated. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know what's going on with college, her scholarships, nothing. We can't get answers out of anybody, and I would almost guarantee nobody's got an answer for me now, because the only person that has answers isn't allowed to talk to anybody, which is crazy. What am I supposed to do? I have a daughter, her whole future is in limbo, and I can't get an answer from a single soul.
For God knows how long. This could go on 6 months. They're hanging these kids out to dry for 6 to 8 months.
Our children are suffering from this.
And for what reason?
The board has the ability to reinstate
This
Jenn
board
right now,
now.
so the investigation is concluded.
You need to speak one at a time, and then it's a who you had your turn. Let the rest of them speak. You spoke once, let them speak.
You all have the authority.
Sit down and let them speak. Don't make me mad. I listen to you.
It takes a community to raise.
There's a whole room full of people to speak.
We are not a
They
village
need a
right
turn.
now.
One at a time. Are you
It
done?
takes a community to raise a child. Am I wrong?
No.
Okay.
Not.
So, why are we not all together? Why are we separating people and putting them out? We're being selfish. We're taking away from these kids.
Can I ask a question? Is there someone in the school that can help with all the scholarships and stuff? Like, is there someone set up to do those things since she's not here right now and can't? Is there someone that those parents that are all worried and the students that are worried, can they go to that person?
Yes.
Who is the person? Who is it?
We have, well, one, no one's asked me directly, but I actually have, that's some of the things that Nicole and Karen were actually having to do. Nicole's helping a great lot with that, actually. So, yes, and we will figure out whatever we can figure out, absolutely.
My name is Matt. I'm a freshman here at Waldron. Want to talk about Jenn? She is the backbone of this entire school. A lot of these kids here, especially the seniors that graduated, a lot of them would not be here. Be where they are without Jenn's help. The sad thing, I understand, and the policy, you say you have zero bullying.
That's
Alright.
the policy, we don't tolerate it.
Alright, well,
I keep hearing it, and we don't tolerate it.
I can give you two names right now. Simple as that. I am being called stuff that I should not be called on. And one of them on the list is a rapist. Now what's gonna happen there? Allison doesn't do nothing whenever it comes to disciplinary and suspension. That was all thrown to Jenn. Jenn handled it the way she should have, the way it should have been handled. Ellison does not. He is more worried about either one, the elementary, or two, he just doesn't handle it the way it should. I have seen kids in their school itself that what they have done, they should have been suspended for it, but then they just show up the next day like nothing even happened. Along with a lot of these other people. The investigation with Jenn, I have zero clue what's going on there. I don't know how much of these people know, but I have zero clue. I know a lot of students and faculty maybe. If Jenn does not come back, a lot of people will leave.
I've already spoke, but I have a question. Do you, as the board, have the power to reinstate her? Or do you have to wait until the investigation is done?
We need to wait till the investigation is done before we can act on the facts that are presented.
And how long do you think that will be?
I thought that it would be done now, but apparently there's a hold on some of it, so we don't know when it will be done.
Are the allegations that serious that she cannot be reinstated while?
I cannot.
No, I'm not asking what they are, I'm just asking like.
But I can't comment on that. I might like to, but I can't.
Can you tell us if the police are involved?
The only comment we would
I can't
say
tell
is,
you anything.
Mr. President, I would advise that we are following legal counsel's advice.
That's why we can't comment. Legal counsel says wait till the investigation's done.
You can ignore your legal counsel.
I believe you wanted to speak.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Adams. My son was actually suspended for 3 days today, and he was sent down to the office. All he was being a little disruptive in class. That's what it was told to me. And he got a 3-day suspension for that. He wanted to be removed from a situation because another kid was causing issues. Well, I feel this year, he's been targeted all year long. So my son, at the end of this year, will no longer be in the school. Thank you. Also, he's special needs to add to that.
I'd like to speak real quick. My name is Jason Champlin. I graduated here in 2001. When I was in high school, I had Doug Rickner and Claire Green as a guidance counselor. Never once was I ever approached or talked to about what I wanted to do with my career after high school. From what I can see with what Jenn's done with these kids is a night and day difference. And I think it means a lot for these kids. I'm not sure what's happening with her, but I'd like to see her come back. My other question is, I was approached by a parent. I was told that the diplomas for the seniors were not signed by the guidance counselor. So are these diplomas valid? Thank you.
I'm going with the fact they're valid because everyone else signed them. I did not realize at the time that there was a blank line. I should have, but I didn't realize it. But the diplomas should all be valid because they completed their work. They're signed by me and.
It is a legal document.
As far as I know, it's perfectly legal, fine. If we hear otherwise that line has to be filled, we will have to do something about it. But as far as I know, it's perfectly legal the way it is. And I'm sorry if there's any confusion. Thanks for your questions and comments. Well, if that's it, we will certainly take your comments into trying to get this resolved as fast as we can.
I don't think it's a matter of result, like, you guys are doing what you guys need to do to protect our children. Whether or not she's vindicated and it's false allegations, no matter if it's not, you guys are taking the right route to make sure our children are safe and that your butts are covered in the school is covered. I just think communication is the key.
We've heard that before. Everyone who has this
Yes,
spoken,
everywhere.
Right, we sit here again tonight voicing our opinions, and yet we still have nothing. My name is Ashley Kale, I'm from Waldron. I haven't been in the community all that long, but 4 years. My daughter would not have had the opportunities at a bigger school that she has had here, and I am grateful for Jenn. And same with my son. He don't like this school. He don't like some of the staff. There is a lot of favoritism here. You either have a name or you don't. And thanks to Jenn, she guided him to go to a trade school because dropping out is not an option. Our children are suffering more than anything here, and we still have no answers. We have nothing. We're gonna leave here tonight and still be twiddling our thumbs because we can't be told anything. You know, bullying, why don't you come to the school and spend a day and watch in these hallways? There should be a hall monitor regardless for these kids. I know another special needs boy who gets picked on daily.
When I come, I don't see.
You know, you guys will be real sorry when he brings something into the school or anybody. It's sad we have to raise our children to be as nice as you can be, so we don't fear that someday someone might be pushed too hard and they will come into school and they will hurt the ones that are hurting them. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Daytona Grant. As Miss Chris said, our elementary is awesome. I volunteer down there. I love working in the elementary. She is totally right. The elementary is ahead of times. It's really good. However, our high school is lacking. I've also went to several different high schools in Ohio and here in Michigan for observations that I do for my college courses that Jenn thankfully had enrolled me in and has pushed me to get out of my comfort zone. But I'm going to say it, Jenn runs that high school. Unfortunately, we are unable to keep a lot of our high school teachers. There could be reasons for that. And I feel that she helps all students tremendously. And that doesn't even matter if she's putting them in college. She helps everyone that comes in that room. Students come in that room to tell them a problem. They don't go to the principal, they go to her because she gets it done. No offense, Mr. Ellison, but that's how it rolls.
Anyone else? That was your time.
I already spoke, but I have a question. With all the early middle college and dual enrollment and career center, what is going to happen with those kids? And who's going to guide them? And who's going to make schedules and stuff like that if Jenn is no longer with us?
Yeah, because as of May term, we're supposed to be getting our schedules for next year. Well, not me, because I'm graduating with the kids.
Well, we will have to get that done somehow, whether Jenn is back or not. Someone will have to do that, and we will work on it. If it's not being done, we will work on it.
I know that Nicole was handling the, like, early middle college stuff, because I know that she's gonna help Aiden set up all of his classes once he gets enrolled into college. So that might be the one you have to ask about, helping you get into your, like, college classes and stuff.
In point something out. The kids haven't been told, but you actually have to download 2 apps in order to actually be able to access your stuff. You have to download Outlook, which allows you to access all your college emails, and you have to do the Authenticator app. So, just a heads up.
I do believe that the KCC administrator did go over that because Nicole had Bailey on a Zoom and had said that she had to do those, download those things. So they are being told that through, at least the people who are signing up for early middle college for the first time is aware of that.
Wasn't that supposed to be
Yeah.
Something that didn't happen.
The public comment time is not time for, if they wanna discuss that.
I know. We need to get back on track. If anyone has any other comments who hasn't spoken before. Otherwise, we're going to walk the rest of the meeting. I'm gonna take each one comment.
Hi, my name is Libby Fee. I was a student here. I graduated in 2021. I did my internship with Jenn for Trine University. I was very thankful, and I just wanted to read a little bit from my paper that I had to write. It says, Jenn is a strong and intelligent woman. She gives the students tough love when needed, whether that be getting them motivated to work on assignments when they are feeling burnt out, or helping them through a rough time in their life and to look on the positive side. Jenn is someone who you can always look up to and is the best role model. I was very thankful that she was not only accepting of my internship with her, but also extremely excited. Being able to work alongside Jenn is something spectacular and a great learning experience. She has such a way with the students and creates a connection with them. I only hope to be able to connect with my own students someday as she has with hers. I know this by speaking from experience as I am one of those students. Jenn is an unforgettable woman, co-worker, and friend.
That's it. Like I said, we will certainly consider all of the comments. We know now what you think. There was a few comments that were surprising to me. And we thank you all for coming. And we'll try to get done with the rest of our meeting now.
So basically, this was just a waste of time, we just spoke for nothing, no answers.
We can't comment on an ongoing investigation, even though I thought it would have been done, maybe should have been done, but it isn't done.
How about we look
So,
into it?
advice attorneys, we can't talk on something we don't have any official results on yet.
Well, can we talk about the fact that Ellison has way too much power and he doesn't do his job and he's getting paid for 2 jobs and he doesn't do either of them? But we're paying for it out of our taxes.
That would probably be another discussion for a different topic, rather than the one
Next board meeting?
apparently we're here for, but yes, we will take that comment into consideration too, because it's public comment and you're public. We will consider that. But I obviously can't comment on something like that, because I'm sure some attorney somewhere would hang me. So, but we hear you. We do hear you. I know it don't look like it, but we do. And I can assure you, that isn't anybody here stupid enough to sit here if they don't care about the school?
Why are we being fooled?
What?
Why are we being fooled as parents then? Because right now our
I
kids are in
don't think
limbo.
I don't think you're being fooled. We can't answer a question till it's done. We're not fooling you. And I'm just supposed to listen and go on.
Well, what about the diplomas then, that weren't signed?
The diploma does not have to be
They're signed enough to be
Enough?
official.
Enough
Enough
transfer.
for who? I signed them, the diplomas should be perfectly legal
Should.
as they are.
Should be. I like that word.
Well, they can always check with their legal counsel to make sure and then send something out if it's not.
Well, I'm
It's a
sure
simple
we-
solution, they can't get you an answer right
I'm
now.
sure we can do that, but they're signed by the board president, the board secretary, and then And superintendent, they are perfectly valid.
Jack, it's time to go on.
You've spoken several times, young man, I thank you for being
The
here.
legal document, the entire thing
We're
needs to
gonna
be
move
signed.
on. We are moving on, public comment is done.
Is it because you don't have answers?
We already said that.
Not because I don't have answers, I can't answer about an ongoing investigation.
This wasn't about the investigation, it was about the diplomas.
Your transcript.
Your question I answered 3 times. The diplomas are valid. The diplomas are valid.
But Dick, real quick, the diploma is a legal document. Employers ask for them documents that they can employ you, and if that's not completely filled out, that is not a valid diploma. So I don't know how you guys are gonna go about taking care of that going forward, but if it's not completely filled out, that's an issue for every kid that graduated this last Sunday.
Seniors were not given diplomas
Well,
at
if it is,
graduation.
we will fix it, but I am going with the idea that it's perfectly legal. It's signed by me, signed by the superintendent, signed by the board secretary, it's perfectly legal. The students have all the credentials to back it up, the document's perfectly legal. There should not be any problem. If there is, we will work on it. But I don't think there is an issue, and we're going to move on.
Well, looking online, it says that there is an issue with them not being completely filled out. It says that not every line is signed, that they have to dig through it. That shouldn't be on an employer to have to dig down and figure that out.
And Dick, this is a lot of ifs and buts.
We're done. We're done. I'm not gonna answer. Some online guy said something.
That's all right. We'll be here again next month for the same
Just because it's on
show.
Facebook, don't necessarily make it law. Item 5, we did that. Item 7, athletic director report, Mr. Green.
All right, baseball, softball for the spring sports. Both teams are struggling, but we're both competitive. We're in pretty much every single game. We're just missing it by that much. High school, junior high track, individuals are doing extremely well. High school track is participating in regionals, junior high track is over. Big thing is weather's been an issue. Fall season, football, volleyball schedules are complete. Cross country, just waiting for the invitationals to come in to let us know when I can schedule those. Winter, both high school and junior high basketball schedules are complete.
Any questions, Mr. Green?
The high school varsity girls basketball coaching position.
We have opened that up. We're just looking for people to apply.
Thank you, sir. Item 8, committee reports, finance committee, Joe.
Yeah, we discussed, student count, it's at 206, we got the fruit and veggies grant, $1,000, and, we went over the budget, had a lot of questions, and hope to get some answers here, following our finance meeting.
Any questions for Joe? They're working on next year's budget, we don't have anything exactly finalized yet. Item B, buildings and grounds, do you have a report, Dave?
My report is about the same as last month's. Concession stand for the athletic boosters, we're still getting bids for the model and new construction. The high school driveway for the concrete, high school bathrooms, boys and girls. Carpet for the entrances still, John did pick up the carpet today. And the exterior siding after school is out to start that project. And we're still waiting on certain bids to come in, so that is my report.
Any questions for Jake? Thank you. Item 9, superintendent's report, Mr. Ellison.
We had teacher or staff appreciation week. We do celebrate all staff during the week, was traditionally teacher appreciation. The PTT helped quite a bit during this time, as well as the National Honor Society. Monday, they did survival kits, it included, things such as like, water, gum, pencils, erasers, things like that. Tuesday was breakfast burritos, Wednesday they had a snack bar, Thursday they were able to have, Mexican food, and then, Friday was a salad bar. And
It was very much appreciated.
Then there was the juniors class with, covered by Heather Boyd. The junior class actually made breakfast for the seniors on Friday the 16th before the graduation walkthrough. And then we did have the senior spotlight also. There was over $100,000 in scholarships earned. I want to congratulate the seniors on their hard work to accomplish that. It was pretty impressive, and things went as planned. And then we have our senior luncheon, which was put on by Luann and her lunch crew. The top 10 senior luncheon, as well as you did it for also the elementary side, right?
Yes, first grade through 11.
Yeah. So, they were able to, the seniors ate lunch from Here's to You Pub and Grub. And the top students in grades 1st through 11th ate chicken tenders and macaroni and cheese with special treats. Students seemed to love it. They had a good time from what I could see. And just want to give a thank you to Kevin Conant, the owner of Here's to You Pub and Grub, and Luann and the lunch crew for putting it together. That's it.
Luann, you guys are amazing, by the way. There is no other school that has a school cafeteria crew like you.
I agree.
Just so you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Item 10, correspondence. I was going to list the one that's already been announced, resignation. Wasn't there something else? Yes, that was it. Otherwise, we had no correspondence. Item 11, old business. We have the approving the Neola policy, second reading. There's a list of policies that are in your packet. It includes the one which eludes me. We have to rescind and replace it with the old policy because they changed some laws that something wasn't legal. So we have to rescind the old policy and then reinstate the even older policy.
Move to approve. Support.
Moved by Brent, support by Matt. Any questions on my concise and clear explanation?
I would like to still state my concern, the fact that we're rescinding a policy we don't have in our policy book and replacing it with an old policy that we don't have in our policy. So,
Concern is no, for some reason, one was held up in some production thing because there was a question, so it didn't get in after we approved it. And the one that it had replaced, we need to put back in, apparently was never sent out and put in anyway. So, that's where we're at. Moved by Brett, supported by Matt to support the stated, to approve the stated policy. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no.
no,
Okay, Brent,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Jake,
yes.
Mindy,
Did you say yes? I'm sorry.
No.
Virginia, Joe,
Nope.
uh, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's already 4-2. It's, yeah, everyone knows what I think of policy manuals, but the law sign the calendar. A, consider payment of monthly general fund bills.
Moved.
Support Joe, support by Jake. Any questions on any individual bills or comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries 7-0. Consider approving the ISD budget.
So moved.
Moved by Joe,
Support.
support by Brent. Any questions or comments? Okay. All in favor of approving the ISD budget, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carried 7-0. Consider voting, item C, consider voting for a representative to vote at the ISD board election. Who do we want to assign to vote at the ISD election? And then the next thing we'll have to do is decide who to vote for among the list of people they sent us.
What day is that, Sean?
To look it up, I don't remember the exact date. I know we've talked about it a few times.
I move to nominate Virginia, if she's willing to be our voting representative.
Is there support?
Support.
Support by Jake. And Virginia said she's going to do it. Do we need to appoint an alternate?
We probably should.
Yeah. You can't.
I'll nominate Brian as our backup.
Who?
Brent.
Brett, okay. Does Brett accept that
Yeah.
as part of the original motion? So the motion is to have Virginia be the delegate and Brent be the backup. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries 7-0. Now we need to consider who to vote for. I think you all have the ballot.
I would move that our representative be directed to vote for Ron Grosheim and Scott Katowski for the two full-term positions, and to vote for nominations from the floor for the two partial term positions.
Is that Virginia?
You see the candidates that are listed there, Ron and Scott are both running, have filed to run for the full year term positions on the ISD board, and nobody filed for the two partial term positions. And per the statute, the school district representatives will make nominations from the floor for those other two positions and will cast ballots accordingly.
They apparently only had two people run for 4 positions. They're running for the full time, just nominate someone. Sounds familiar to me. Then our delegate's gonna vote for basically whoever nominated. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries 7-0. And item E under new business, we've already done, it was part of the other motion.
No, Mr. President, I think this is the new one. It's the first reading on that one, right?
Well, you actually, Joe can explain, because you said we've actually talked about it last time.
Yeah, the supposed old one was 2266, and that was in our first read last month.
It does say first read, it should say second.
for some reason in the motion we just passed, it does say special update Title IX, and again, it's listed here. The number isn't listed in old business for A, but the title is for what that policy is, so.
That's all we do. Let's see if we can think of anything. We bring us item 13, items for discussion.
I hope after hearing public comment today that, you really take some time to address the bullying issues. Because if it's not been cleared before, it should be cleared now, that there's something that needs taken care of.
I would like once again thank the people that pointed it out, because if we don't hear about it